Jamal Niaz here with Paddy The Baddy Pimblett. You've just been absolutely mobbed downstairs. So many people down there training. You got stopped about 5 or 6 times. Like, this has been absolutely unbelievable, the feedback that you've got, the fanfare that you've had after that debut back in September. Just how much has your life changed since that moment?
Well, people say your life's changed and all that sort of shit, lad, but this is just normal to me, lad. In Liverpool, since I said the first ever time, Scousers don't get knocked out. I've been getting asked for pictures in Liverpool for years and years, lad. It's nothing new. I'm used to it. I go into town and get asked for pictures, lad. Never mind when I go to like venues and gyms and stuff like that. As I say, it's just normal for me. People have been saying to me, "Oh, what's it like now? Your life's changed," and I'm like, "My life hasn't changed, lad." Like, I said all this was gonna happen. Yeah. I knew it was coming years ago, and it's only gonna get bigger and better. So I've got to be used to it.
Yeah, I mean, that card was unbelievable. To have Molly fight before you, everything that she'd gone through, tough couple of years for herself, come through like an absolute warrior, and then she's there cheering you on. Like, what I see as a fan, even back from the Cage Warrior days, is that you're so comfortable in the chaos in there. Even if you're on the ground and you've got someone going for the ground on pound on top of you, you love the scramble exchanges, you don't mind eating a shot. Has that always been the case for you? Like, you have a big smile on your face all the way through a fight in there, man.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed fighting, lad. That's Paul always says it about me. I just like fighting. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'd probably be fighting if I wasn't getting paid for it. You know what I mean? I enjoy fighting. Like, some people shy away when they're getting punched in the face and that, but I don't mind it. I never have done. It's just, I take it in my stride, lad. I genuinely don't mind getting punched in the face, and I like it even better when I punch someone back in the face.
Do you feel like sometimes you need to get woken up in there, in a sense, in that, right, this is a two-way street, it's not just going to be domination from my side, because you're an egocentric fighter, your self-belief is off the charts. Is it that sense as well? It's like, oh right, there are two sides to this story. I've got to like be aware that there is someone else standing across from me as well.
Yeah, I've said that before, to be honest. In a lot of my fights, it takes a punch for me to get woke up and be like, oh yeah, fucking hell, you're in a fight here. Yeah. You need to switch on, pad, sort your head out. You know what I mean? It has took that against Decky Dalton, took that against Vendramini, took that in a lot of fights in the past. The Stephen Martin one, first and foremost, to be honest. But as I say, it's a fight, lad. Like, as Bisbin says, you don't go swimming, don't get wet, lad. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're in a fight.
Exactly. And we were just talking off camera, you know, I'm hyped to see the Barstool Sports deal for yourself. Just a big fan of them, great channel. The reception that you've had from the American crowd has been unbelievable. I remember when you was there in Madison Square Garden, like, you would have thought that you was fighting there yourself. You can't help but get excited by that stuff, man, can you?
Nah, it's sick. You know what I mean? I love it, lad. It was mad when I walked in Madison Square Garden, lad, even for the weigh-in. Like, all former champions, like Chris Weidman and that, had walked out, and everyone said I got the biggest cheer out of everyone. Yeah. And I've only had one fight. You know what I mean? I've had one UFC fight, lad. So imagine when I finish Vargas, and then I finish someone else after that, and someone else after that. What I've always said is going to happen, lad. I'm going to be the biggest name in this sport, and it's that simple.
Obviously, we talk about the Vargas fight, the UFC London card. My personal opinion, the best card that we've ever had on these shows. You look at Molly, Tom main event, you're the third biggest fight. The crowd that you're going to have alone coming to watch your fight. You've mentioned the entrance. You're always putting on a show in there. Can you drop any hints as to what that entrance is going to look like? It's just going to be unbelievable, isn't it?
It's going to be the same as always, lad. I don't need to change anything. Everyone knows what my entrance is like. And
personal theme tune, eh?
Yeah, it's my own song, lad. Everyone knows that I'm going to be walking out and going bananas, lad. And I've had 1,000 Paddy The Baddy wigs made, lad, so they'll be getting put on my website later, lad. If anyone wants to buy them, I'd get on fast, lad, because they're going to go quick.
Yeah. And when we talk about the ground game as well, I mean, what we've seen from the first fight was all stand-up. It was unbelievable how far your striking's come on as well. But the flying triangle from Cage Warriors, you're so inventive on all areas of the fight game. Is that something that you love about the sport? You know, you're always learning. There's always going to be new facets to your game that you're going to be adding. You're a real student of the game, aren't you?
I always say that, to be honest, lad. I always say I've probably forgot more than I know. You know what I mean? Because there's that much things that you learn in MMA. There's so many different facets and so many different techniques that you can learn that you can't remember them all, lad. There's some of them just, like, they get lost. But in this fight, lad, I'll be honest, I'm probably going to come out and strike with him like I always do, lad, because I like getting into a fist fight. But I could just crash match Jimmy Chandler him if I want to, lad. Know what I mean? I could just come out and single leg him or double leg him and put him straight on his back and not take a punch if I want to, and you never know, I might do that. I might go for a flying submission, lad. That's something I've been thinking about. So, like, I could do anything I want to this kid. I could have a boxing match with him and knock him out. I could have a kickboxing match with him and knock him out with an egg kick. I could just wrestle fuck him, like what Colby does to people. Or if I want, I could jump into a flying submission. Like, I feel all ass on him because there's nowhere this fight goes that he can beat me. Like, I feel for him, but at the same time it's a lose-lose for me and a win-win for him. So I'm coming out there to take his head clean off his shoulders.
For myself, I view you as one of the smartest guys in the game in terms of you know how to promote yourself and it's not forcing it down the people's throats. It's so effortlessly easy for you. You know, when you look at the podcast, the vlogs, the Barstool thing, it's so natural. I mean, you are natural in front of the camera, and you love to speak. You like it's not hard to get an interview out of you, is it? Like you are an interviewer's dream, and was that always part of the plan as well, the podcast as well? Because you like listening to people as well. It's not just all one-way street with you. You like learning things about people.
To be honest, lad, it was Paul what told me to do the podcast.
Yeah.
Paul said you'd be good at doing a podcast. People listen to you. You like to listen to people, and I proper enjoy doing the podcast, lad. I do. I really enjoy it, lad. They're good. Like, I just enjoy doing it. And then the vlogs let people see that none of this is an act. That's what pisses me off, lad. When people online are like, "Oh, it's all an act. He's putting it on for show." It's not. No. None of this is an act. This is just me being me, and that's what's good about the vlogs, lad. I've had a few comments on the vlogs. People like, "Oh, I never used to like Paddy, but now that I've watched his vlogs, I can see that he's being himself." Obviously, I'm being myself. This isn't WWE, lad. No. This is real life. This is fighting. Like, we don't practice who's going to win the fight beforehand. So all this is genuine. And as I say, it pisses me off when people think it is fake. But now that I've got the vlog and now that I've got the podcast and stuff like that, people know. Yeah,
and then obviously we got chatting again after the Conor McGregor interview last week, which was, it was unreal to see his reaction to that as well, because just as a fight fan, man, I would love to see that. I would love to see that at Anfield, absolutely packed out stadium show. Like, what was it like to hear him speak about you? Because he's spoken about you before as well, and you know how he paved the way for the sport into the mainstream. It can't be ignored, can it?
No, we can't. I always say it, lad. People don't give Conor enough respect nowadays because of stuff that he's done outside of the cage and that, and because he's just being beat by Dustin Poirier. Lad, Dustin Poirier is one of the best in the world, pound for pound. Like, you can't take nothing away from him. Conor's a legend, lad. He changed the face of the sport. He changed how people look at the sport. And I'll always say that you've got to show him respect. Like, it does me head in when people are like, "Oh, he's finished, he's this, he's that." He's not, lad. Stop giving him hate. Half of yous wouldn't even watch MMA if it wasn't for Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? He got half of the world into the sport, and that's what I plan to do. I plan to carry on getting people into the sport and carry on doing it. And like, to hear him say good things about me, he's boss, lad. You know what I mean? It does. It fills you with pride because he's the biggest name in the history of MMA, and he's gonna continue to be until I become the biggest name in the history of MMA.
I'm going to keep pushing that out there. Like, I want to see that fight, just in terms of like UK, Ireland, like.
That'd be the biggest pay-per-view the UFC's ever seen. Yeah. Without a shadow,
without an American in there as well.
Without an American in it. That'd be the biggest pay-per-view the UFC has ever seen in their lives. I know for a fact it would.
They wouldn't need to upload a video to promote it or anything. It would just be you guys just doing all the promotion for it.
Like, a lot of people, lad, if we done that and they done a world tour for that, like they did with Aldo, lad, they'd get the most views ever. Like, yeah. Just the banter, the Irish Scouse banter, lad, would be sick. Yeah.
And then Anfield for yourself, that's like, it brings back memories of when Bellew fought at Goodison Park. Like that, he said nothing would ever top that. Not even like winning a world title would top that.
I'm the same, lad, to be honest. I don't think anything would ever top fighting at Anfield. A place that I go week in, week out to watch my football team. And it's like a church for people in our city, you know what I mean? It's like a big family there, lad. Everyone wants to go there and wants to watch the Reds play, you know what I mean? And for me to actually get a fight there, it'd be super special, lad. Like, I really think that probably would mean more to me than winning a UFC title.
I mean, it's sick to see that even at the level of fame and where you're at in your career, that you're not asked about showing that you are a fan as well. Like, you're a fan of your club, you're there, like, home and away. You've been to Milan recently, haven't you? You were at the cup final last week. Like, you're just a fan like everyone else, like whoever you support.
Yeah, lad, the mighty Reds, lad. I can't wait for us to smash it this season, lad. We're gonna win everything. Lad, like I've always said it, I think the only person in the world that I'd be starstruck if I met would be Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
Like, people say to me, oh, have you bumped into an MMA fighter? I'm like, lad, I'm an MMA fighter. Yeah. Why would I ever be starstruck bumping into another MMA fighter? That's what I do. I'm the same as them. But if I bumped into Jurgen Klopp, lad, or Mo Salah, I reckon it'd be a bit different.
Have you had any interactions with the Liverpool players like Trent or anyone like that?
I spoke to like Harvey Elliott, you know what I mean? Harvey Elliott's cool, lad. I've spoken to him a few times, but I can't speak to him now. The Instagram have disabled my account, lad, so, you know, I'm going to have to fucking get on him on my new one when I get a few followers.
It's going to be up again, man. It's going to be up in like no time.
I know for a fact, lad, especially when I grab the mic and say Mark Zuckerberg, I'm going to punch your face in. I know for a fact it's gonna shoot up above 1 million followers, lad. After this fight, I know I go to 1 million followers, but I would have been on like 2 million. But they just allow bullies and trolls to win, lad, and say disgusting things about sick children, lad, which makes me sick.
You know what I love as well is that you are unapologetically yourself. You know, everyone is always going to know where they stand with you, and I'm guessing that's something that everyone in the gym and your friends say is one of the biggest assets in you as a person, is that you're always going to know where you stand with you, and you know, you stand up for what is right. You use your platform to raise awareness for things like bullying and things like that.
Does me head in, like the way they've shut me account down, lad. There's so many people I speak to on there with mental health problems that I don't know where they're going to be now. I don't know if they're still going to be here. And it's because like I get messages like, oh, without speaking to you, Paddy, I don't know how I'd still be here. And now I can't message them people back. So I don't know how they are now. So my head's chocker. I'm stressed thinking about them people. Thinking, oh my God, are they alright? Are they going to still fucking be here when like they end up messaging me new accounts? Like, and then all the charity work I do on my account. Like, I got a message the other day, oh, I've just tried to tag you in this so you can share it. I'm like, lad, my account's gone. Like, sharing stuff for sick children and charities for homeless people and stuff like that. And they've took my platform away from me from helping people because of bullying and harassment. When I'm the one and people on my page are the ones that get bullied and harassed, and I just defend myself.
It's tough, man, as well, because I see, like, you know, every day, like, if you're following you'll see that you don't let people get off the hook. You know, you do answer back, and sometimes you think, like, I need to get off it in that sense, in that just don't even give people the time of day.
But the only thing is, lad, I don't want to be fake. I don't really want a social media manager running me accounts because then it's fake.
Of course,
you know what I mean? I want to be real, and I hate people who are fake. You know what I mean? But from now on, I might have to get someone else to run me account because I'm emotionally invested when I put kids who are fighting for their lives up, disabled kids, to like when I've done something to help them, when I'm doing stuff to help charities. Like, I'm emotionally invested in that because I see these kids and I meet these people. You know what I mean? So I can't sit there and let someone say something disgusting about them and not say something back, especially when I report the comment and I get a notification back off Instagram saying this comment does not go against our community guidelines, but then me saying to him, you're a piece of dog shit or you're a fat divvy, does go against their community guidelines, and my account gets banned. Lad, it's just, they don't care, lad, because the more accounts, the more money they make.
It's an invisible entity as well, isn't it? Like, you can't like verbally have a conversation, defend yourself. So
you can't even defend yourself to try and get it back, lad, which is an absolute joke. But I'm an advocate for, if you make a social media account, you should have to register a card or an identification, because that'd stop people killing themselves because of online bullying and trolling, and stop people, like, some people are scared to leave the house because of online bullies and trolls. It's absolutely disgusting, lad, that Instagram and Twitter and Facebook let people get away with this, but they don't care, because the more accounts they have, the more money they make. So they don't care about people killing themselves and people scared to leave the house and people getting bullied. It's all good as long as they're lining their pockets, where I don't stand for that. You know what I mean? Like, I could have not said nothing back to any of them people and still be getting sponsorships, and I've missed out on hundreds of thousands of pounds in sponsorship for standing up for what's right, but I don't give a fuck. I'm going to carry on standing up for what's right. I'm never going to change. As you said, lad, my mates know where they stand with me. Everyone knows where they stand with me, lad, because I'll never change. I'm just Paddy from Iton. And if anyone's got something to say, come and say something, and I'll have a back and forth with you right away. Like, I'm never going to change, lad. No amount of money, no amount of fame is ever going to change me, lad. I'll always stand up for what's right and stand up for what I believe in.
And I think you saying all this raises awareness, not only in the MMA community, but in the sports community. Everyone sees what you're doing, and I think it will spark a positive change, and there will be hopefully more of an open dialogue between ourselves and the people running these social media channels.
There should be, lad, because everything's automated on these social media channels. With them, they don't care about context. So where someone said something on my page, something absolutely disgusting, that I'm not even going to repeat, because little Lee's dad doesn't want me to repeat it. He doesn't even know what got said, but he doesn't ever want me to repeat it. And I just said back to him, to the lad, you're a piece of dog shit, lad, saying something like, you're vermin, you're a piece of dog shit, saying something like that about a child who's fighting for his life, lad. He's got a brain tumour, he's dying, you know what I mean? He's fighting for his life. Doctors have told him several times, you won't make it at the end of the week, you won't make it at the end of the month, and he's still here. And some horrible piece of fucking dog shit said something absolutely disgusting about him. And when I reported the comment, this comment does not go against our community guidelines. But then I call him a piece of dog shit, and my account gets stuck off me. Yeah. And it's an absolute joke. But that's why everyone hates Mark Zuckerberg. And Mark Zuckerberg, I hope you see this, you're a mushroom, and I'm going to terrorize you in the cage when I win this fight. And everyone's going to follow me new account anyway. And I'm going to get verified on that, and you'll look like a gang of divvies.
I think that's the best way to go about it, is to use the platform in the cage. I've seen comments saying that the post-fight interview, people are going to be watching that around the world. So, you use that platform in the way that you choose. He's getting
called out, lad. He's getting called out. When Bisman says who he called out, I'm going to say Mark Zuckerberg, I'm going to punch your face in. You're the one getting called out. Everyone follow me new account at the UFC Baddy. You know what I mean? I've had to make a new account again, lad. It's an absolute joke. Third account, lad. Yeah. I've had 1.1 million followers across 2 accounts deleted. 1.1 million followers that I've worked up through my hard work and dedication to get up and to help people, and then they take my account off me. Because
do you find it easy to balance all this though? Personally, it's a lot for you to take on. It seems from the outside perspective, you're doing an absolutely unbelievable, great thing. You're defending people who aren't in a position to defend themselves. But it's taken a toll on you, an emotional toll on you. Of course,
it's taken a toll on me, lad. The last 2 weeks I've been proper stressed, lad, since my account got disabled. Like, I'm not even going to tell you some of the things what have went through my head, lad. Especially when my manager got on me saying that this sponsorship opportunity is gone and this is gone. Like,
because you got that side of it in your ear.
Yeah,
as well,
the amount of like money twice the amount of money what people are doing in a year, 4 times the amount of money what people are doing in a year. Sponsors have pulled out because my account's been disabled for sticking up for what's right. You know what I mean? It's an absolute joke, lad. Like, I can't put into words how ridiculous it is and how stressed it's made me. Like, the past 10 days since my account got disabled on the Thursday, I can't.
Everyone supports what you're doing, but we all want you to be all good as well. We all want you to be okay as well.
As you say, it does take a toll, lad. It does stress you out. But I just can't not stand up for what's right, lad. I can't stand up for I can't not stand up for what I believe in, lad. I have to say something and do something about it. I'm not one of them that can just sit there and just let someone get bullied and let someone get harassed. It just doesn't, my mind doesn't work like that, lad. Obviously, my manager's told me several times, lad, you're gonna your platform's gonna get took, you need to sort it. Like, you're gonna lose out on sponsorships. But I can't sit there and let someone say stuff about disabled and sick children, lad, and not say nothing back. Like, I don't care, say what you want about me. I get called all sorts, lad. I don't give a fuck. It's no skin off my back, lad. I've been called all sorts for years. But don't say something about people who can't defend themselves, lad. It's fucking disgusting. No,
it is absolutely unforgivable. And everything that you're doing, everyone can see, and everyone's behind you. Just in terms of where you're at as well, Dana White usually comes over for the UFC London cards. I'm not so sure if he's coming for this one, but I'd just love to see an interaction between you two. Have you guys actually met physically in person?
I've met him once, but it wasn't even anything to do with the UFC. It was at Barstool.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, okay. I met him at Barstool, lad. I'd love to sit with him on one of them Fridays where they make some food and eat some of that food with him when they make some heavy scoff. But I think hopefully he comes over for UFC London, lad. As I say, Robbie from Barstool's coming over, so hopefully Dana comes over too, and I get to meet him and chill with him, because one good thing, well, I messaged them on my old account where I had a good few followers, but Dana said I can take little baby Lee on stage with me at the weigh-in.
Oh, great.
So hopefully, lad, well, I will be taking him on stage with me at the weigh-in, and we can raise some funds for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait to meet the boss man, lad. I think he knows who the next cash cow is, lad. So he'll probably want to meet me anyway.
Yeah, I'd love to see how that interaction go down, and there's tons of content that can come out of it. So yeah, and then obviously Molly as well. She's fighting on the card as well. It's going to be great to see that again. It's like back to the Cage Warriors days, isn't it? You guys fighting on the same bill. How's Molly been, and how great does it feel for yourself going to war with her as well?
Lad, she's boss as always, lad. Know what I mean? Whenever we fought on the same card, we've never lost.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great omen, lad. It's a great charm, and it's going to continue, lad. We're both going to go in there and get big wins, lad, and it's going to be, as I said on Instagram yesterday, it's going to be next gen stealing the show again. Like, just like we did in Vegas, it's going to be exactly the same. After the show, everyone's going to be talking about us, and I can't wait for it, lad. Every single time I fight, that's what it's going to be like. Everyone will be talking about me the next day. In
terms of your trajectory after this fight, are you trying to take every fight as it comes and learn like in front of the world, or are you like at that full speed accelerator? You want that path to the title as quickly as possible? No,
I'm taking it one step at a time, lad. You can't look past each opponent. Know what I mean? Even though I know I'm going to win this fight, lad, you can't look past any opponent. You've got to keep your eyes on the prize every single time. So I'm not thinking about fighting people in 2 years' time for titles, and I'm thinking about beating Vargas, then after this fight beating the next opponent. That's my plan, lad, and my plan is to make as much money as possible as I work my way up.
Yeah, class. And then I have to ask you as well, in the division, we just announced this morning, officially announced Gaethje and Oliveira for the world title. How do you see that one going down? It's a tough one, isn't it?
I picked Oliveira against Chandler, but then I picked Poirier against Oliveira, even though he's a jits man, and I always generally pick my jits men, but I just can't see Gaethje ending up on the ground with him, lad. I can see Gaethje landing big shots and big leg kicks, but Oliveira's proved everyone wrong plenty of times before. But if someone said to me, you've got to bet your house on one of them, I'd have to pick Gaethje. Gaethje's like my favourite fighter to watch, lad. I love watching Justin Gaethje. I was there at the Gaethje Chandler fight. Yeah. Lad, it was an absolute scrap, lad. I love watching Gaethje fight. Like, Oliveira's never in a boring fight either, to be honest, but I've always liked watching Gaethje, lad. Like, Adam Ventry bent me on Gaethje years ago when he was in World Series of Fighting. Said to me when he got signed, lad, he's going to be boss. Just watch him. And he's never been in a boring fight. He's the man, lad. I love watching him fight. Would you want to, like, if you guys ever found yourselves across the octagon from each other, would you be telling yourself, right, I want to out Gaethje here. I want to like go out in a full-on dogfight and come out on top. You could do that, lad, but the only thing when you're doing that is you're playing him at his own game, lad. Yeah. That's what Chandler's tried to do and failed miserably. So, you know, every fight you've just got to go into it with a set game plan and what you want to do. And I don't think I'd fight Gaethje for a good few years anyway, maybe 4 or 5 years. So you never know, that could be one of them down the line. Hopefully it is, because that's another big fight, and I relish these big fights. There's tons of exciting fights out there, Paddy, and I appreciate your time, man, and everything that you're doing inside and outside the cage is brilliant to see. So top man, appreciate it, bro. Top man.